The rain hammered the tin roof like accusations, each drop a reminder of the words that had just shattered Levi's world. "Get out. You freak. You're no son of mine." His father's voice boomed from the kitchen, raw with a hatred Levi never knew existed, as the front door slammed behind him, locking away the only home he'd ever known. At 19, standing drenched on the cracked driveway of their small Ohio townhouse, Levi clutched his backpack like a lifeline, the weight of betrayal heavier than the storm clouds above. He stumbled down the empty street, streetlights flickering like dying stars. His phone dead in his pocket, no calls. No escape. Memories flooded him, lazy summers fishing with Dad at the lake. Mom's gentle hugs before cancer stole her away 5 years ago. But that was before the whispers. The stolen glances at boys in high school. The secret ache in his chest that he buried deeper than her grave. Now, it was out overheard in a frantic phone call to his best friend. The one confession that unraveled everything. Levi's heart pounded. Not from fear, but from a fire igniting inside. He wouldn't break. Not yet. By dawn, the rain had eased to a drizzle, and Levi found shelter under the awning of a dingy diner on the edge of town. The sign read, "Millie's open 24/7. Its neon buzzing like a headache. He pushed inside, the bell jingling too cheerfully for his mood, and slid into a booth, ordering black coffee he couldn't afford with the last crumpled tin from his wallet. The waitress, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a name tag reading B, eyed him sympathetically. "Rough night, kid. You look like you lost a fight with a hurricane." Levi managed a weak smile, wiping his face with a napkin. "Something like that. Family stuff." He didn't elaborate, but B lingered, pouring a free refill. "Family's tricky," she said softly. "But you're tougher than you think. Eat tea in the house." She slid over a plate of pancakes, golden and steaming, and for the first time in hours, Levi felt a flicker of warmth. As he ate, the diner filled with early risers, truckers nursing hangovers, a lone farmer reading the paper. Ohio in early fall cornfields stretching endless under gray skies felt both vast and suffocating. Word of his expulsion spread like wildfire in a town this small. By noon, Levi's phone buzzed back to life on a borrowed charger text from classmates. Pity mixed with cruelty, Fag got what he deserved. He deleted them all, throat tight, and stepped out into the crisp air. No plan, no money, just the ache of abandonment gnawing at him. He walked miles, sneakers blistering his feet, until the highway hummed with possibility. Hitchhiking wasn't smart, but desperation made fools of them all. A rusty pickup pulled over after an eternity. The driver a grizzled vet named Hank with a tobacco-stained grin. "Hop in, son." "Where to?" "Anywhere but here," Levi muttered, climbing in. The cab smelled of diesel and old leather, radio crackling with country tunes about lost love. Hank didn't pry, just shared stories of his own regrets. A son in the military, letters that stopped coming. "Life kicks you when you're down," he said, handing Levi a warm Coke. "But it picks you up too, if you let it." They drove west toward Cleveland, the landscape blurring from rural flatlands to industrial sprawl. Levi stared out the window, replaying the fight, Dad's face twisting from love to loathing in seconds. The Bible thumping on the table like a gavel. "God don't make mistakes. But you're one." Cleveland greeted him with chaos skyscrapers piercing the clouds, the lake's salty tang in the air. Hank dropped him near a shelter, slipping a 20 into his hand. "Find your feet, kid." The shelter was a converted warehouse. Bunks stacked like forgotten dreams. Volunteers handing out sandwiches and hope. Levi claimed a corner cot, surrounded by faces etched with their own battles, addicts, runaways, Dreamers derailed. That night, as snores echoed, he whispered to the darkness, "I'm gay, and I'm still here." The words tasted like freedom, bitter and sweet. Days blurred into a grind. Levi buskied on street corners. His guitar, the one Dad had bought for his 16th birthday, strumming folk tunes that drew spare change and sidelong glances. He dodged questions about home, built walls higher than the bridges spanning the Cuyahoga. But cracks formed. One evening, under the glow of Public Square, a guy approached, tall, with messy black hair and a skateboard under his arm. "Hey, that was killer. You sound like Elliott Smith with balls." Levi looked up, startled. The guy was maybe 21. Olive skin, hazel eyes that sparkled with mischief. "I'm Alex. You new around here?" Levi nodded, pocketing coins. "Levi? Yeah, just passing through." Alex grinned, unfazed by the guarded tone. "Passing through Cleveland. Bold move. Come on. There's an open mic at this dive bar. I'll buy you a beer if you're legal." Levi hesitated, the pull of connection warring with caution. But Alex's easy laugh disarmed him, and soon they were weaving through crowds, the city pulsing alive. The bar was a haze of smoke and strings, queers and allies mingling without pretense. Levi played a set, voice raw with unspoken pain. And when he finished, Alex was there, clapping loudest. "You're going places. Man, stick around." That night, they talked till closing. Alex, a barista by day, artist by night, out since 16 and unapologetic. "Family. Mine's a mess too. Mom's cool. Dad pretends I don't exist. But fuck him. We make our own." Levi shared fragments, the expulsion, the rain, the hollow echo of a slammed door. Alex listened. No judgment, just a hand on his shoulder that lingered. When they parted, Alex slipped him his number. "Call if you need a couch or company." Walking back to the shelter, Levi's chest loosened. For the first time, he wasn't alone in the storm. Weeks turned to a fragile routine. Levi crashed on Alex's futon in a tiny loft apartment overlooking the lake. Walls plastered with sketches of defiant figures, queer icons reimagined in vibrant chaos. Alex's world was a revelation, pride flags fluttering from windows, coffee shops buzzing with unfiltered lives. They cooked ramen at midnight, debated books till dawn, Levi devouring Auden, Alex quoting Baldwin like scripture. Laughter came easier, touches accidental at first, a brush of fingers over shared takeout, a hug that pressed too close. But shadows lingered. Letters from home arrived, unopened at first. Dad scrawled demanding he fix himself or stay gone forever. Levi burned them in the sink, flames dancing like his rage. Yet doubt crept in nights when Alex slept soundly beside him. Levi traced the ceiling cracks, wondering if he was worth this borrowed life. One crisp October morning, as leaves turned fiery red along the lakefront, Alex pulled him into a kiss under the willow trees. Soft, tentative, then fierce, like claiming what was always his. "I've wanted this," Alex whispered, breath warm against Levi's neck. "You." Their romance bloomed tentative. Then wild stolen weekends hiking the Cuyahoga Valley. Bodies entwined in the loft as rain pattered the windows. Levi discovered joy in Alex's arms, the curve of his smile, the way he whispered beautiful like a prayer. But love amplified the ache for what was lost. "I miss him," Levi confessed one night, head on Alex's chest. "Not the hate the man who taught me to tie flies, who cried at Mom's funeral." Alex held him tighter. "You can miss the ghost, but don't let it chain you." The breaking point came in November. Frost glazing the sidewalks. A call from Aunt Claridad's sister, the one ally in the family. "He's sick." "Levi, Heart trouble. Doctor says stress. Well, you know. Levi's world tilted. Pack a bag. Confront the monster. Or let karma claim its due. Alex urged caution. Go if you must. But take me. Levi shook his head. This is mine to face. The bus ride home was torture fields whizzing by, each mile tightening the knot in his gut. Ohio felt smaller, meaner. The town a cage he'd escaped. Pulling up to the house, unchanged save for Dad's truck rusting in the drive. Levi's pulse thundered. He knocked, knuckles white. The door creaked open. Dad thinner, eyes hollowed by illness and regret unspoken. You came, he rasped, voice cracking. No welcome, just shock. Inside, the air hung heavy with Ghost Mom's photo on the mantel, fishing rods in the corner. They sat at the kitchen table, silence thicker than fog. I didn't mean. Dad started, then faltered. The church. The neighbors, they say it's a choice. But seeing you gone, it hollowed me. Levi's anger surged, hot and unbidden. A choice. Loving who I love. You chose hate over me. Words poured out years of silence. The fear that choked him. The boy he'd hidden. Dad listened, face crumpling, tears tracing paths down weathered cheeks. I failed you. Like I failed her. The admission hung. A bridge or a bomb. Levi wanted to scream, to leave. But something held him, the flicker of the man beneath the monster. Days blurred into uneasy truce. Levi stayed, cooking meals Dad could barely stomach, reading to him from old westerns when pain flared. Alex texted daily, proud of you. Come back whole. But wholeness felt elusive. One evening, as snow dusted the yard, Dad pulled out a box from the attic. Mom's letters, yellowed and tied with ribbon. She knew. He whispered. About you. Said to love fierce. No matter what. Levi's throat closed. He traced her script, words blurring through tears. In that moment, forgiveness cracked open, not full, but enough to breathe. Yet the real fracture came later. In the hospital's sterile hum. Dad's heart gave out mid-conversation. Monitors beeping frantic. Levi gripped his hand, whispering, I forgive you. Dad. Let go. But as life ebbed, Dad's eyes locked on his, pleading, don't hate me. Levi leaned close, voice steady. I love you. Always did. The words, simple and shattering, were the last Dad heard his son's grace. Unearned and profound. He slipped away peacefully. But the break was irreparable. The man who'd built walls around his heart, cracked wide by the very love he'd rejected. Grief hit Levi like a freight train. But in its wake, clarity. Back in Cleveland, Alex enveloped him. Their bond deeper, forged in fire. Levi channeled the pain into music songs of loss and reclamation. Gigs drawing crowds hungry for truth. He started a support group for queer youth kicked out, sharing his story not as victim, but survivor. Aunt Clara visited, bridging the family chasm with apologies and heirlooms. Dad's will left everything to Levi, the house, the truck, a letter tucked inside. I was wrong. Be free, son. For both of us. Spring thawed the lake, cherry blossoms painting the city pink. Levi and Alex walked the shore, hands intertwined, rings glinting on their fingers, vows exchanged in a quiet ceremony, surrounded by chosen family. You broke him, Alex said softly, but you healed us all. Levi smiled, the scar of betrayal a faint line now. In loving boldly, he'd mended what hate tore asunder. And in that mending, he found his truest self unbroken, unbreakable. The funeral was a quiet affair, under a sky heavy with the promise of more rain. Townsfolk shuffled in, Murmuring condolences laced with curiosity whispers about the prodigal son returned too late. Levi stood at the gravesite, Alex's hand a steady anchor in his, as the preacher droned verses of redemption that felt hollow. Dad's casket gleamed mahogany, etched with the same cross that had once condemned. Levi tossed a single wildflower onto the lid, a defiant poppy, red as the anger he'd buried. Afterward, the house felt like a museum of regrets. Levi sorted through drawers, unearthing relics, Dad's war medals from Vietnam, Mom's recipe cards stained with vanilla. Alex helped, his presence a balm, packing boxes with gentle efficiency. "What now?" he asked, wiping dust from his brow. Levi paused, holding a faded photo of the three of them at the lake, smiles unscarred by secrets. "Sell it. Or make it mine." The question lingered, a crossroads in the empty rooms. Nights were hardest. Levi dreamed of arguments unresolved, waking sweat-soaked beside Alex, who murmured comforts in the dark. "He heard you, Levi." That last gift, it set him free. But freedom came at a cost. Levi poured it into his music, the guitar strings weeping melodies that packed the dive bars. One song, "Porch Light Promises," went viral on a queer podcast, drove vocals over finger-picked chords, lyrics slicing like truth. "You built the door. I walked through rain / love's the storm that washes pain." Crowds grew, from dozens to hundreds, faces reflecting his own fractured light, kids with fresh bruises, elders with hard-won peace. Levi spoke after sets, voice steady. "My dad kicked me out for being me. But in the end, I gave him what he couldn't give, forgiveness. Don't wait for permission to love." Applause thundered. But inside, the void echoed. Alex saw it, pulling him close after shows. "You're changing lives, babe. Including mine." Spring swelled into summer, the loft alive with possibility. Alex's art show Lumita Gallery downtown, canvases ablaze with queer narratives. Levi curated the playlist, their synergy electric. But doubt nipped at heels, a letter from the church elders, urging Levi to seek counsel before claiming inheritance. "Sinners don't inherit the kingdom," it read. He laughed bitterly, crumpling it. But the sting lingered. "They think I'm poison," he told Alex over rooftop beers, city lights sprawling below. "You're elixir," Alex countered, kissing his temple. "To me. To them if they look." Their love deepened in stolen moments, lazy Sundays tangled in sheets, hikes where Alex sketched Levi against sunsets, capturing the quiet strength in his jawline. Intimacy wasn't just bodies, it was souls entwining, vulnerabilities shared like sacred texts. Yet Levi's past clawed back. A call from an old high school friend, Jamie, now out and thriving in Chicago. "Heard about your dad. Come visit, we've got a scene here." The road called, a siren song of reinvention. Levi and Alex piled into the old truck, windows down, wind whipping secrets away. Chicago glittered like a fever dream, skyscrapers kissing clouds. Lake Michigan a vast blue mirror. Jamie's apartment buzzed with life, drag queens prepping for brunch, activists plotting pride floats. Levi performed at a bohemian cafe, the crowd electric, his voice cracking on the bridge about porch lights. Afterward, Jamie hugged him fierce. "You're a fucking beacon, Levi." But glamour cracked under scrutiny. At a party in Boys Town, eyes lingered too long, hands brushed with intent. Levi tensed, old fears surfacing, judgment masked as desire. Alex noticed, pulling him to the balcony. "Hey, we're solid. No ghosts here." They danced under string lights, bodies sinking to a pulsing beat, reaffirming what hate couldn't touch. Yet whispers followed, rumors of Dad's shameful end, twisted by small-town vines into urban gossip. Back in Cleveland, the inheritance Lumita check for the house sale. Enough to breathe. Levi funneled it into the support group, transforming a church basement into Outpost, Ohio, bunk beds for runaways. Therapy sessions lit by rainbow lamps. The first resident, a 16-year-old named Riley with bruised ribs and defiant eyes, reminded Levi of his younger self. My folks said pray it away, Riley muttered. Levi knelt level. Prayer didn't save me. You will. Alex beamed from the sidelines. His own dreams Blaminga grant for his murals, painting queer histories on alley walls. Their life wove tighter, shared bank accounts, whispered futures. But autumn winds carried omens. Aunt Clara arrived unannounced, suitcase in hand, eyes red-rimmed. Found these in his desk, she said, handing over Dad's journal pages filled with scrawled confessions post-expulsion. I drove to Cleveland that night. Couldn't face you. Thought I'd lost you both. Levi's hands trembled, words blurring, pleas for understanding. Bible verses underlined with doubt. Sketches of fishing lures labeled for Levi someday. The final entry, dated weeks before the heart attack. If I die tomorrow, tell him I'm sorry. He was my light. Sobs racked Levi, Alex and Clara enveloping him in a cocoon of shared grief. He broke. Clara whispered. But you mended the pieces. Winter gripped the city, snow blanketing sins. Levi's group thrived. Stories pouring in, youth finding footing. Families reconciling. One letter gutted him, a father, echoing Dad's rage. Then regret. Your song saved us. Levi framed it beside Mom's photo. An altar to redemption. With Alex, he planned their next steep move to a bigger space. Perhaps New York, where stages awaited. But roots tugged. The lake's rhythm synced with his pulse. A crisis shattered the calm. Riley vanished one blizzard night. Note scrawled, can't fake it anymore. Panic surged. Levi rallied the group, scouring shelters, posting flyers that plastered the city. Alex drove through wideouts, his worry a mirror to Levi's. Hours stretched eternal until a call, Riley's safe in her ER. Overdose attempt stemmed by a kind nurse. Levi rushed there, holding the boy's hand as tubes hummed. You're enough, he murmured. Just as you are. Riley's eyes flickered open, tears carving paths. Like you. Levi nodded, throat tight. In that sterile room, with Alex's steady gaze, Levi saw the cycle break, not just for Riley, but for the father he'd lost, the son he'd become. Healing wasn't linear. It was jagged, beautiful. As spring teased buds, Levi stood taller, his music a clarion call. Love, he'd learned, didn't conquer Allenite, persisted, patient and fierce, until walls crumbled. Summer scorched the Midwest, humidity clinging like unspoken truths. Levi's outpost buzzed with new faces, a trans teen fleeing conversion camps, a bi woman escaping a loveless marriage. Levi mentored with quiet wisdom, his own scars badges of survival. Alex's murals bloomed across Cleveland, vibrant portraits of kicked-out kids rising phoenix-like from porch steps. Captions drawn from Levi's lyrics. Critics raved. A local paper dubbed Alex the voice of the voiceless on canvas. Their anniversary fell on a sweltering July 4th, fireworks exploding over the lake like defiant stars. They picnicked on the grass, blanket spread with craft beers and Alex's homemade pie. One year, Alex toasted, clinking bottles. From futon crashes to this. Levi pulled him close, the kiss tasting of cherries and forever. You saved me first, he whispered. That night, under a canopy of sparks, they made promises, rings exchanged in a DIY ceremony, vows etched on skin and soul. But joy's shadow loomed. A documentary crew sniffed around, drawn by Levi's viral ascent. Queer prodigy, from rejection to redemption. The pitch read. Levi balked, exposing Dad's ghost felt like betrayal anew. It's my story, he told Alex, pacing the loft. But his too. Alex cupped his face. Share what heals, not what haunts. The filming began tentatively, interviews in the outpost. Levi strumming by the lake, voice cracking on memories. The director, a soft-spoken lesbian named Mia, coaxed truths gently. What broke him? She asked. Levi paused, eyes distant. My forgiveness. He couldn't forgive himself. Fall painted the leaves in fury, mirroring Levi's inner storm. Riley, now thriving with art therapy, confided a crush's first on a volunteer named Theo. Levi guided him through the terror of vulnerability, echoing Alex's lessons. Love's a risk worth every heartbeat. Watching them fumble toward connection, Levi marveled at the ripple, one boy's grace sparking chains of it. Then, the call that upended everything. A lawyer from back home, Dad's estate contested by a distant cousin. A Bible thumper claiming moral unfitness. The house. The savings slipping away. Rage boiled. Levi drove east alone. Alex's protests fading in the rear view. The cousin, Earl, smirked across a lawyer's desk, eyes cold as Ohio winters. Blood don't mean right. Your lifestyle taints it. Levi's fists clenched. Lifestyle? It's life. And Dad chose me. The battle dragged. Depositions dredging pain, witnesses from church painting Dad a saint. Levi a sinner. Nights in the old house. Ghosts whispered doubts. Alex joined weekends. His presence steel. Fight for what's yours, he urged. But exhaustion crept. Levi's music faltered. Crowds sensing the strain. A breakdown came mid-set. Guitar dropped. Stage lights blurring through tears. I can't keep giving when it takes everything. Alex whisked him away post-show. To a cabin up North Pine scented escape where lakes mirrored souls. They hiked trails slick with frost. Talked till stars wheeled overhead. You're not alone, Alex said. Fire crackling between them. We rebuild together. Intimacy reignited their slow, reverent bodies mapping forgiveness. Levi emerged renewed, returning to court with fire. Expert witnesses, therapists on rejection's toll, queer historians on inheritance rights. The judge ruled in his favor. Earl's sneer crumbling like dry leaves. Victory tasted bittersweet. Levi donated half to the outpost, expanding to satellite groups. The doc aired to acclaim. Clips going viral, Levi's face on billboards. Invites pouring in for TED-style talks. But fame's glare exposed fractures. Paparazzi hounded Alex's studio, twisting their story into tabloid fodder. Tragic son's steamy revenge romance. Levi shielded Alex. But tension simmered. I didn't sign up for this circus, Alex snapped one night, paintbrush snapping in his grip. Apologies bridged at dinners by candlelight. Reaffirmations in the dark. Winter blanketed doubts. But spring unearthed a gift. Mia's crew uncovered Dad's hidden donation, anonymous funds to a gay youth hotline. Post-expulsion. He tried. Levi marveled. Journal in hand. The revelation softened edges, allowing grief to bloom into gratitude. As Outpost marked its first year, Levi headlined a gala, hundreds gathered. Stories shared under chandeliers. Riley, now confident, emceed. Theo at his side. Levi's speech wove pain to purpose. We don't break families, remake them. Thread by resilient thread. Applause swelled. Alex's eyes shining from the front row. Later, in the loft, they danced to vinyl scratches, bodies swaying to anthems of survival. Yet the deepest cut healed slowest. A letter from Earl. Post-loss, You win. But pray for my soul. Levi burned it. Ashes scattering on the lake release. Not revenge. With Alex. He planned horizons, a book deal. Mural tours. Love. He'd learned. Wasn't absence of storm, but dancing in it. And in that dance, they found eternity. The book deal landed like Manna Publisher in New York. Hungry for Levi's voice. Echoes from the Porch, a memoir of love and loss. Advances bought time. But deadlines loomed like thunderheads. Levi wrote in fevered bursts. Loft windows fogged with effort. Alex brewing coffee and stealing kisses between chapters. Raw as hell. The editor emailed. This'll gut readers in the best way. Summer tours beckoned, readings in Chicago. Panels in San Francisco. Alex tagged along where he could. His own commissions stacking murals for Pride centers. Portraits commissioned by allies. Their rhythms synced, mornings crafting words or colors. Evenings entwined. The city their chorus. But distance tested. A week apart in L.A. Levi's hotel room echoed empty. Texts couldn't bridge the ache. Miss your chaos. He messaged. Alex replied with a sketch, 2 figures back to back. Wings unfurling. Back home. Outpost pulsed stronger now, a network. Chapters sprouting in Toledo. Akron. Riley led trainings. His poise a testament. You gave me roots. He told Levi over pizza. Theo nodding beside him. Levi swelled with pride. But imposter syndrome whispered, who was he to lead? When his own path still zigzagged. Fall brought a curveball, an invite to Dad's old church. The pastor knew blood. Progressive seeking reconciliation. Heal the divide. The email read. Levi's gut twisted. Alex advised neutrality. Go. But guard your heart. The service was surreal, pews filled with familiar faces. Some averted eyes. Others soft with sorrow. Levi spoke from the pulpit. Voice steady. I stand here not as enemy. But son. Love isn't doctrine needs doing. Murmurs rippled. A few stood. Clapping tentative. Outside. An elder approached. Your dad. He donated quietly. To you. In ways we didn't know. The revelation rippled outward. Levi wove it into the book. Chapters closing with Grace's quiet power. Release day dawned crisp. Launches packed queues snaking bookstores. Fans clutching copies like talismans. In D.C., a senator quoted him on the floor, from kicked out to called home. Levi blushed on C-SPAN. Alex squeezing his hand off camera. But acclaim amplified shadows. Online trolls unearthed Dad's obituary. Spinning yarns of gay curse. Levi's mentions flooded with vitriol. Sleep evaded. Nightmares of slammed doors. Alex fortified, blocking bots. Countering with art a series of broke open portraits. Shattered hearts mended with gold leaf. Therapy joined their routine. Sessions unpacking the weight. You're allowed joy. The counselor said. Levi nodded. But belief lagged. Winter's grip loosened into a mild spring. Cherry blossoms defiant. Alex proposed expansion, a joint project. Levi's words inspiring Alex's visuals for a traveling exhibit. Our story. Amplified. Levi agreed. Excitement sparking. They brainstormed over wine, themes of rupture and repair. Installations interactive visitors writing regrets on porch-like frames. Burning them in safe flames. Crisis struck mid-prep. A outpost kid. MIAA fierce non-binary artist faced deportation. Parents immigrants. Unsupportive. Levi rallied. Petitions. Fundraisers. His platform a megaphone. Late nights blurred calls to lawyers. Vigils under street lamps. Alex anchored. But strain showed. Arguments over priorities. Exhaustion fraying tempers. You're saving the world. Alex vented one eve. But who's saving us? Levi deflated. pulling him close. You are. Always. Resolution came swift me as stay granted. Thanks to a viral video of Levi's plea. The win fueled the exhibit, Porches of Possibility, debuting in Cleveland's Museum District. Crowds thronged queer families, allies, skeptics. Levi read excerpts amid Alex's installations, voice weaving with visuals. A father approached post-show. Teen in tow, heard your story. Told my boy it's okay. Tears pricked. Levi hugged them. Cycle unbroken. Summer hummed with momentum. The book hit bestsellers. Tours extending to Europe, London fog. Paris lights. Alex's art sold. Funding scholarships for outpost artists. Their love evolved, deeper trust. Playful routines cooking disasters. Stargazing on the roof. Intimacy flourished. Exploratory and tender. Bodies languages of affirmation. Yet roots called home. Aunt Clara's health waned. Levi visited. Mending threads. She gifted Mom's locket. Engraved, Love Fierce. Back with Alex. He wore it. Talisman against doubt. As leaves turned, Levi penned the sequel's outline, Beyond the Break, Tales of Collective Healing. In quiet moments, Levi reflected, Dad's kick-out birth, this tapestry pain's loom-weaving beauty. With Alex beside him, hand in hand, he stepped forward. Unbroken. Love. He'd etched eternal. Repaired what rage ran asunder. Autumn winds whispered change. Leaves cartwheeling like freed confessions. The exhibit toured. From Boston's cobblestones to Seattle's rains. Levi and Alex trailing in its wake. Cities blurred, panels with activists. Workshops for youth. In Atlanta, a boy gifted Levi a drawing to men on a porch. Door ajar. For when it feels closed. The note read. Levi framed it in the loft. Beacon against storms. Back in Cleveland. Outpost expansion strained seems budgets tight. Staff stretched. Levi fundraised relentlessly, galas. GoFundMe surges. Alex designed logos. Vibrant rainbows fracturing into unity. Their synergy shone. But toll mounted. Levi's book tour clashed with a crisis, a chapter in Dayton overrun. Kids sleeping on floors. He canceled flights. Diving into logistics bunk deliveries. Volunteer drives. Alex supported. But resentment flickered. We're a team, he said softly. Not a solo act. The talk bridged it. Over loft candlelight. I fear losing you to this, Alex admitted. Levi cupped his face. You're my why. The rest is how. Vows renewed. They balanced, date nights enforced. Mornings untethered. Winter blanketed resolve. Snow muffled doubts. Mia, the non-binary artist, thrived first solo show. Themes echoing Levi's memoir. He emceed. Pride swelling as crowds lauded her fire. Spring unearthed buried ache. Sorting Dad's garage. Levi found letters sent to him. Penned in shaky hand, apologies layered. Pleas for reunion. 1. Dated pre-hospital, saw your face in dreams. Forgive this old fool. Tears soaked paper. Levi read aloud to Alex. Voices harmonizing grief. They scattered ashes at the lake ritual release. Dad's spirit unbound. Fame's double edge sharpened. A major network pitched a series, Kicked Out Chronicles. Dramatizing stories like Levi's. Offers dazzled producers. Scripts. But authenticity clashed. They whitewashed pain. Dad a caricature villain. Levi walked. Statement blistering. Our truths aren't for sale. Backlash roared trolls. But supporters louder. Alex's exhibit addendum. Unscripted scars. Raw testimonials on canvas. Summer sizzled with solidarity. Outpost hit milestone. 500 lives touched. Levi's sequel deal sealed. Chapters flowing freer. Alex's mural commission, Cleveland's Pride Wall. Levi's silhouette central. Guitar raised. Intimacy deepened, explorations tender. Trust's garden blooming. They hosted dinners, Riley and Theo. Mia and crew. Laughter weaving family. Crisis crested in August heat. A fire gutted the outpost, basement arson suspected. Slurs spray painted on walls. Levi arrived to chaos, sirens wailing. Volunteers shell-shocked. Kids huddled safe. But lost gutted files ash. Beds charred. Rage warred with resolve. Police dragged feet. Hate crime pending. Alex arrived. Enveloping Levi amid debris. We rebuild. Bigger. Fundraisers exploded. Levi's live stream raised thousands. Fans donating gear. Media swarmed. His poise commanding. Hate burns hot. But love endures. Insurance lagged. They crowdfunded interim pop-up shelter in a church allies hall. Amid rubble. Levi strummed for the kids. Songs of rising. One girl, 10 and fierce, drew him a phoenix for the unbreakable. Fall mended wounds. New outpost rose steel doors. Rainbow reinforcements grand opening a triumph. Donors poured, including anonymous from Dad's church. Levi's speech, fire tests. But forges stronger. Alex unveiled a mural on the facade, flames transmuting to wings. As leaves fell, Levi proposed to Alex in the lake dock. Sunset gilding waves. Ring simple. Silver etched with fierce. Alex's yes dissolved in kisses. Joy effervescent. Planning wed. They dreamed, small. Queer-centric. Vows under willows. Winter's hush cradled dreams. Sequel launched to acclaim. Tours lighter. Therapy evolved. Group sessions for leaders. Unpacking savior complexes. Levi learned boundaries. Alex's mirror. Their love. Seasoned. Shown resilient nights of whispered futures. Bodies affirming worth. Spring bloomed vows. Ceremony intimate. Outpost family. Aunt Clara tearful. Levi in linen. Alex dashing. Rings exchanged to folksong strains. Vows raw. In storms and sun. I choose you. Dance under stars. Cake smashed with glee. Honeymoon, cabin retreat. Trails and talks. Souls synced. Back. Life accelerated. Exhibit permanent install. Book club tours. Levi mentored nationally. Voice a clarion. A letter from Earl's widow. He washed your dock. Changed before passing. Thank you. Forgiveness rippled. Cycles closed. In quiet. Levi traced Alex's tattoos. Gratitude profound. Dad's break birth, this symphony of pain's prelude to harmony. Love. Eternal architect. Rebuilt beyond repair. The wedding glow lingered like summer haze. But reality's rhythm resumed swift. Levi and Alex settled into married life. Loft walls echoing with easy domesticity, mismatched mugs. Shared closets bulging. Mornings brewed coffee tandem. Evenings unwound with vinyl spins. Yet expansion pulled. Outpost's national push demanded Levi's travel. Alex's art syncing remotely. Video dates. Alex teased. Packing Levi's bag. Or sexed with sketches. First trip, Austin's Queer Fest. Levi keynoting. Crowds wrapped. Stories mirroring Hiskik touts turned trailblazers. Back. Alex greeted with mural mock-ups, wedding portraits. Stylized fierce. Their synergy birthed, union unbroken. A collab book, Levi's prose. Alex's ills. Publishers clamored. Deal struck. Deadlines dancing. Fall deepened commitments. Aunt Clara moved nearby. Assisted living blooming with visits, tea chats. Her tales of Dad's softer youth. He adored you. She confided. Feared losing that light. Levi absorbed. Journal filling with reconciliations unspoken. Outposts Dayton chapter thrived. Fire Scars Badges annual Phoenix Fest. Bonfires and bans. Crisis simmered subtle, burnouts creep. Levi's calendar cramed podcasts. Policy briefs on youth housing. Sleep fragmented. Irritability sparked. Alex called it, pause. Love. We're human. Not heroes. Retreat planned, weekend getaway. No tech. Lakeside cabin mirrored their first escape hikes. Hearth talks. Levi unloaded. Fear I'm chasing dad's ghost proving worth. Alex listened. Then, you're worthy still. Full stop. Renewal flowed. They hired Outpost COO. Lightening Levi's load. Alex's solo show loomed, hearts repaired. Gold leaf mendings of shattered forms. Levi curated playlist. Opening night electric critics hailing visceral hope. Sales funded scholarships. One recipient. A trans poet. Opened for Levi's next gig. Winter wrapped gentle. Holidays blended traditions. Aunt Clara's tree. Outpost potluck with rainbow ornaments. Gifts, thoughtful Levi's leather journal from Alex. Inscribed, our story continues. New Year's Eve. They toasted on the roof, to unbroken tomorrows. Spring surged with launches. Union Unbroken debuted. Dual signing tours Levi reading. Alex sketching live. Fans cued. Couples inspired. Your love gives us blueprints. In Philly, a dad approached. Read your first book. Came out to my son supporting him. Levi hugged. Tears shared legacy living. Yet shadows shifted. A legal challenge. Conservative group suing Outpost for promoting immorality. Eyeing funds. Levi's fury ignited. Lawyers mobilized. Amicus briefs from allies. Media frenzy. Op-eds. Interviews. Levi's CNN spot poised. This isn't about use-its every kid fearing home. Public swayed. Case dismissed. Victory Pyrrhic but potent. Summer healed. Exhibit toured Europe Berlin's walls. Amsterdam's canals. Levi spoke broken German. Alex painted in plein air. Romance rekindled, canal cruises. Cafe whispers. Back. Wedding anniversary, vow renewal microlake picnic. Rings red-on. Intimacy playful. Profound bodies rediscovering in honeymoon haze. Fall's harvest, outpost milestone gala. Black tie, queers glittering. Levi emceed. Alex's auction pieces soaring bids. Riley, now director in training. Toasted, from porch to pinnacle thanks to you. After party intimate. Dances slow. Winter's depth, birth dreams. Levi at grad school social work. Amplifying impact. Alex supported. Brainstorming apps. Therapy evolved, couple sessions. Fortifying bonds. A letter surfaced from Dad's old army buddy. Tales of his quiet pride in Levi's gifts. Mosaic completed. Father's complexity unveiled. Spring flowered expansions. Sequel 2, Mended Horizons. Weaving communal tales. Tours lighter. Focus inward. Alex's mural for National Monument. Queer resilience etched stone. Dedication ceremony. Levi strumming tribute. Voices joining chorus. In twilight walks. Levi reflected, marriage not endpoint, but ever-unfolding path. Alex's hand in his. Steps since love's quiet revolution. Repairing worlds one heart at a time. The grad school acceptance arrived on a balmy June morn. Envelope crisp as new beginnings. Levi hooped. Twirling Alex in the kitchen spilled coffee be damned. MPA. Here I come. Classes loomed fall. Balancing outpost helm. Alex grinned. Professor Levi. Hot. Their banter buoyed. But undercurrents stirred time's theft. Ambition's pull.